in the street life. Been spending most of their lives living in a gangster's paradise. We've been spending most of their lives living in a gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in a gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of our lives living in a gangster's.
Oh, it's 9 o'clock on the dot. Happy Thursday, Alton, and good morning, Riverbend. That was our little bit of a dedication to Coolio, who just passed away at the age of 59 last night. Man, one of the greatest songs, in my humble opinion, ever to be made. Really love that song, and sucks to hear the passing of Coolio, but we got a really good show here. Before we take a look at the news, like I was telling you guys yesterday, as I get my foot untangled from my headphone wire, we're starting our process of getting to know some of the candidates that are going to be in the general election in Madison County in November. And starting us off will be Senator Kris Tharp, who replaced Rochelle Crow after she was appointed as a United States attorney. And really looking forward to talking to Senator Tharp. All we're going to do, like I said, every candidate, they get the same amount of time, the same questions, without my opinion. Because I really think you guys don't want my opinion, or, anything other than the sort, right? Because so many times radio stations, TV stations, they'll bring on candidates, and then they start getting a little bit pointed with their questions. They start playing gotcha. They start playing one-up in each other, and that's not really good for you guys. That's not good for us, because we just want this to be as transparent as possible for you guys to make a decision on who you want to represent you, and, that's really how I stand on it, and I'm looking forward to talking to Senator Tharp. Also coming on the show today, we got a treat for you. Grafton Winery's Harvest Fest at the Vineyards is this Sunday, and Jameson with Grafton Winery is going to be on the show in the 10 o'clock hour to talk all things pretty much wine-related and Harvest Fest-related. I was told they got some new food options up there, and they are going to start becoming world-renowned, or at least region-renowned, and I would say world-renowned here in a couple of years, because they have a great look, great setup, great wine, and then you add some great food on top of it with some great events that always are going on. And I think you're set. But also, they have some really neat things that you could do throughout the week that maybe you weren't, you didn't know. So really looking forward to talking to Jameson. But right now, let's take a look at your local news of this morning at 9 a.m. Madison County State's Attorney Tom Hain on Wednesday sent a letter to Governor J.B. Pritzker saying he is willing to work with the governor to correct problems with the SAFE-T Act before it takes effect January 1st. Hain's letter said the SAFE-T Act, which abolishes the cash bail system in Illinois, will limit the ability of his office as well as local judges to detain dangerous defendants prior to trial. Hain said the new law will prohibit the detention of some defendants prior to trial despite their level of threat to the community or likelihood of being no-shows in court. Haines was quoted, "With courageous leadership, I truly believe that a reform of our cash bail system can be accomplished that does not put our communities at risk," he wrote. "I welcome the opportunity to discuss this important public safety issue further with you as we approach the SAFE-T Act's January 1st, 2023 effective date. In the meantime, I am committed to accurately informing the public I'm committed to actively informing the public and working toward meaningful changes to the act prior to implementation." This comes after Governor J.B. Pritzker wrote his own letter to Madison County State's Attorney Tom Hain, and that was his rebuttal. We'll see what happens. In Alton, YMCA Southwestern Illinois recognizes the importance of civic engagement as part of YWCA USA. "We know how critical it is for voters to get educated and use their votes every day, and especially on Election Day. In an effort to educate voters on Madison County candidates that will appear on ballots in November, YWCA Southwestern Illinois Get Out the Vote project is hosting a Madison County Candidates Forum on Tuesday, October the 18th, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the gymnasium at YWCA at 304 East 3rd Street in Alton. Masks are not mandatory, but anyone who would like to do so is invited to wear a mask. Candidates for the following races have been invited: Illinois State Senate District 56, Illinois House District 111, and for Madison County Clerk. A moderator will ask questions for each candidate pair and, time permitting, take questions from the audience. This is not a debate format, and they will start at 7 p.m. The program will be broken down into 3 segments. based on the office being contested. They will start with 2 candidates for state senate, followed by the candidates for state representative, and then county clerk candidates will follow them. You can access the gymnasium through the parking lot on George Street, access from George Street from 4th, as it is one way, which is the preferred entry for those with mobility issues. You are also able to park on 3rd Street and enter their facility through the front doors. The gym is located on the 2nd floor, so you will need to be able to climb stairs using this entrance. If you have any questions, contact info@ymcawil.com. That's ymcawil.com for more information. And in Grafton, the Grafton City Council recently voted unanimously to award a $136,000 contract for sidewalk and street repairs in Grafton Hills subdivision to RCS Construction Incorporated on 960 East Airline Drive in East Alton. RCS was the lowest responding bidder at the sealed bid opening that occurred at Grafton City Hall. 3 companies responded to the bid package prepared by SMS Engineers Incorporated for the sidewalk and street repairs concrete project in Grafton Hills. Gas Shepard, PE, president of SMS Engineers Inc., presided over the sealed bid opening with Mayor Morrow and his staff. Representatives from all 3 bidding companies were present. The Grafton City Council meeting is held on the 3rd Tuesday of every month at 7 p.m. at their City Hall, and all council meetings are open to the public and broadcasted live and archived on YouTube. Also in Alton, video game license and applications were not advanced for 4 businesses at the City of Alton Committee at a whole meeting on Monday night. However, they're on the agenda to be discussed. They were last night, and we'll get some updates to see how that went. Also on the agenda last night is the second reading of a business ordinance regarding adult use cannabis business establishments. It is number 11 on the agenda for last night. 4 video gaming applications were introduced in a resolution to the committee of a whole. Heaters, the Village Inn, Pancake House, Milton Liquor and Grocery, and Farm Fresh in Fosterburg. Alderwoman Carolyn McAfee requested to separate the Milton Liquor and Grocery application. McAfee's motion was rejected by a 4-3 vote. The video game licenses for Farm Fresh, Heaters, Village Inn, Pancake House, and Milton Liquor and Grocery were discussed last night, as we're waiting on the results of those to come into my little news computer here. At Monday's Committee of a Whole meeting, multiple demolitions were discussed and approved for the council meeting. Addresses for demolition were discussed. Those addresses: 618 Ridge Street, 705 Scene Avenue, and 2126 Seminary Avenue. These will be discussed again at a further council meeting. Schwegel's Market and the Conservatory both received video game licenses earlier in the year, and after that, other businesses have asked for consideration. Other items moved from the Committee of the Whole meeting are authorizations to temporarily close sections of the Illinois routes 140 and 67 and East Broadway at Main Street to Pysall for the Alton Halloween Parade in October. These resolutions were read last night at the City Council meeting on Wednesday, and like I said, in the top of the 10 o'clock hour, we'll go over those resolutions. And hey, in Troy, a GoFundMe has been established for Sue Tomlinson, who tragically died in a September 22nd fire in the 500th block of Woodthrush Street in Troy. Her daughter, Courtney Tomlinson, and 2 granddaughters, Serenity and Zanaya Green. Michael Sloan Jr. has been charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and other counts in connection with Sue Tomlinson's death. Sue is also survived by her nephew, Richard Housing, and his wife, Amy Housing, and great-nephews, Gabe Housing and Casey Mize. Maddie Rudolph has organized this fundraiser. Rudolph said, on September 22nd, our beloved Sue was tragically taken from us and her community by one of the most horrific fires. Not just any fire, she was intentionally murdered. This is truly a tragedy. It is a nightmare you just can't wake up from. Rudolph said that Sue was well known and loved throughout the small Troy community. And Maddie said any money left over after the funeral will be used to help move the daughters and grandchildren away from the horrible scene of this tragic murder and help Sue to help her kids one last time. That's a look at your local news right here at the heart of the Riverbend. That's downtown Alton on this 29th day of September. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back, have some fun, and as we prepare for Senator Kris Tharp on our daily show.
Fasten your chin straps, ladies and gentlemen, because you are about to experience the most exciting lineup of CF Moto ATVs and side-by-sides ever to hit the trails, rocks, and sand dunes. For 2021, we are introducing an awesome array of new features, plus some new models across 3 lineups. C-Force ATVs, U-Force utility side-by-sides, and Z-Force performance side-by-sides. CF Moto. Experience more together.
When you need reliable tires without breaking the bank, you won't find a better deal than Cheapy's Tires. Our extensive selection of tires include all major brands, both new and used, along with rims. We'll get you where you need to be with more cash in your pocket. We can work with any budget and get you back on the road in no time. Rough weather is just around the corner, and low tread just won't do. So don't get stuck with bad wheels. Visit Cheapy's Tires on East Broadway in Alton today. Dependable tires at an unbelievable price.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
You're a real caffeine junkie, aren't you?
I drink coffee.
I added a little something to your coffee that I don't think you're gonna like.
Rise and shine. Let's go. Grab a cup of coffee.
There are a lot of decaffeinated brands on the market today that are just as tasty as the real thing.
Oh, it's National Coffee Day, I think. Anyway, that's what they sent to me. I thought it was pretty cool, so I wanted to share that with you guys. And really happy with this new services that we have. A great team working for me and working behind me, which it's really great. And they send us some stuff and, really make it fun and enjoyable for all of us that, sometimes you just need a break, right? I mean, we have Senator Kris Tharp coming on at 9:30. That's some really good information coming your way. Then we have Grafton Winery coming on at 10:15, so that'll be another fun one. But, sometimes it's great just to kind of take a step back and, just realize it's all okay. We don't have to talk about anything crazy or anything critical in the news cycle so far on a Thursday morning at 9:13. But yes, it is National Coffee Day, and wanted to make sure we played that. But I have something for you guys. This is something as we wait and we have some time to buffer a little bit. Feel free to call into the show 618-759-7469 or just shoot me a text. And this is something pretty interesting. A woman is an Uber driver. Okay, she lives in Dallas. And she had a rider, and I'll let her explain it to you because this is a little bit of a longer clip, and we censor things. So if you have some kids, it's censored, so you don't have to worry about any curse words coming out at you. A Dallas Uber driver exposed a passenger as an alleged married man and his mistress, saying in a TikTok video that she dropped both of them back off at the wife's house. I think this is going to be an interesting conversation. Why don't we just let her tell us about it?
If you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you ever need a Lyft or an Uber and you get in my car, be forewarned. If you ever pull this kind of that this guy pulled today, you got the same thing coming. Today I picked up a guy. His wife and his kids walked him out to the car, said, "I love you, Daddy," blah, blah, blah. So he gets in, he says, "Hi." He goes, "I added a stop." I said, "I saw that." So we go and we pull up at the stop, and this lady comes out, and she's got a little bit of luggage, like a handbag and a tote, a small tote. She gets in and she's like, "I am so glad you finally got away from your damn wife." Okay. So then he kisses her, and it wasn't a "hi, how you doing" kind of kiss. And so he goes, "I changed our drop-off location." I said, "I saw that." I didn't know exactly where it was that they were going at that particular time. I just saw that it had an update. So they continued to talk and this, that, and the other. And she says, I'm tired of you putting me off. When are you going to leave?
Uh-oh.
And he said, I've got some things I've got to take care of. Let's talk about this later, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Keep in mind, I was about 5 miles from his house. So understand something. This is my car. I work for myself. I am an independent contractor. If I choose to end your ride, it's my choice. Uber's not going to fire me. Uber's not going to ban me. Uber's not going to get rid of me. If you are doing something crappy in my car, I have the right to handle it however I see fit. Well, things didn't turn out so well for him. I took him back to his house. I drove up and made him and her get out of my car at his home, where his wife and his kids were. There was no other way this was going to go on. There is nothing worse than a dog. Pull some shit like that in my car and you're going to get done like that. Be better people. Do better in life. It didn't end well for him today, I'm sure, because both of them had their baggage and both of them were standing in his front yard when I left.
No!
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, and I hope you see this, you piece of shit.
Wow, one last one for good measure. She wasn't very happy. Thank God we have that censored. But what do you guys think about that? There's been a time when I had the delivery business that I had some very unusual deliveries, right? But I don't think I ever had that happen to me. So if you were an Uber driver, here's the question for you. Feel free to weigh this in on the Facebook comment line or just text it into the phone line, 618-759-7469. Does she have a case, right? Technically, it's her car. Technically, she is an independent contractor. And technically, the guy is, doing something that she thinks is morally not acceptable. So, do you agree with her is my question. I kind of think it's, right? His kids are still at the house. You're not only, if his wife was just there and you know that he was, just saying maybe he told you his mom had the kids for the weekend or whatever, and it was just his wife at home, I don't think there's a problem. But whenever your kids are at home with you, with your wife, and then you already know his kids are there, and you're bringing him back with the mistress, to me, that's kind of where it's a little wonky, right? I don't agree with maybe dropping her off and him off in front of the kids, but I hope the guy made it out okay. Here's the thing. That guy probably is going to be getting a divorce. Well, I can't really help him when it comes to a divorce lawyer, but all I can tell him is this. Hey, maybe his wife threw a suitcase at him and hit him in the back of the head. Maybe that's the case for Sean Lentz. I'd have to give him a call and find out, but you can do so too at 618-465-8000. That's 618-465-8000. His office is right up there at 2600 Edward Street, right across from Centerstone. Sean's a hometown guy. He's got years of experience with great results to add on top of it. Listen, when you meet Sean, you aren't meeting that stereotypical lawyer that you saw in My Cousin Vinny. You're just going to meet a down-to-earth guy that's truly one of the smartest individuals I know. And when it comes to law and personal injury, ain't nobody more advanced and more vast in his knowledge when it comes to this type of litigation. It's Sean Lynch. You want to be proactive in these type of circumstances, right? You don't want to be reactive in a litigation sense. You want to be on the ball. You want to save yourself days and weeks of precious time by saving Sean's number now. It's 618-465-8000. Whether it's dog bites, medical malpractice, trucking cases, motorcycle accidents, auto accidents, it doesn't matter. Sean covers it all for personal injury, and he covers it all. And then listen, if you have a criminal matter going on, whether it's a DUI or some traffic tickets, yeah, Sean takes care of those. But if he doesn't really specialize in that field anymore, it's okay. Still call him, because he has such a strong contact book that he's going to put you in touch with somebody that'll do just as good of a job as he would. So give him a call today, 618-465-8000, 618-465-8000. Listen, you never need to know a lawyer until you need to know a lawyer. So save Sean's number now, and when you call him, all I ask you is that you tell him, hey, CJ told me to call 618-465-8000, and he gave me his lawyer because he's the best. That's Sean Lentz at the Lentz Law Firm, 2600 Edward Street, or 618-465-8000. Back after a short break in downtown Alton.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Once I got here to Lewis and Clark, I felt connected to this place.
It is about intellectual curiosity and people who want to work with faculty mentors and delve into these areas they're interested in.
And it gives the chance for students to develop a more full version of themselves.
Lewis and Clark, for me, is going to be the place that I found myself.
Fasten your chin straps, ladies and gentlemen, because you are about to experience the most exciting lineup of CF Moto ATVs and side-by-sides ever to hit trails, rocks, and sand dunes. For 2021, we are introducing an awesome array of new features, plus some new models across 3 lineups: C-Force ATVs, U-Force Utility side-by-sides, and Z-Force Performance side-by-side. CF Moto, experience more together.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
When you need reliable tires without breaking the bank, you won't find a better deal than Cheapy's Tires. Our extensive selection of tires include all major brands, both new and used, along with rims. We'll get you where you need to be with more cash in your pocket. We can work with any budget and get you back on the road in no time. Rough weather is just around the corner, and low tread just won't do. So don't get stuck with bad wheels. Visit Cheapy's Tires on East Broadway in Alton today. Dependable tires at an unbelievable price. For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganess Card, Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganess Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganess Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank local, Bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Oh, it's 9:23 right back here in the heart of the Riverbend. Had to come back early because we got Senator Kris Tharp standing by, going to learn a little bit more about his platform, his campaign, who he is as a person. It all happens right back here, so let's take a quick buffer break. Apologies for that. Want to get Senator Tharp in here, and we'll start right back up after this in downtown Alton.
Fasten your straps, ladies and gentlemen, as you are about to experience the most exciting lineup of CF Moto ATVs and side-by-sides ever to hit the trails, rocks, and sand dunes. For 2021, we are introducing an awesome array of new features, plus some new models across the lineups: C-Force ATVs, U-Force Utility side-by-sides, and E-Force Performance side-by-sides. CF Moto, experience more together.
When you need reliable tires without breaking the bank, you won't find a better deal than Cheapy's Tires. Our extensive selection of tires include all major brands, both new and used, along with rims. We'll get you where you need to be with more cash in your pocket. We can work with any budget and get you back on the road in no time. Rough weather is just around the corner, and low tread just won't do. So don't get stuck with bad wheels. Visit Cheapy's Tires on East Broadway in Alton today. Dependable tires at an unbelievable price.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
10 times the travel.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Supernatural delights. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody feeling warm and bright. It's such a fine and natural sight. Everybody dancing in the moonlight.
Oh, it's 1026. Senator Tharp, you got me all rattled already. It's 926 right here in the heart of the Riverbend. That's downtown Alton. And joining me now is Senator Kris Tharp. Sir, really appreciate your time today. And you've been busy.
I have been. Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity to come down here and talk with you. It means the world to me.
Absolutely. And, I think it's just so important, like we were talking about on Sunday and then throughout the, today when I met you up there, just to have a nice conversation without anything, too crazy, and just talk about, who you are, and that way we all get to know you a little bit before the general election.
Sure. So a little bit about me, and I think it's important, and I appreciate the platform, because the one thing that I want for, the voters and my constituents in this area is to know who I am as a man. And I think once folks have a feel for who I am and the things in my life that have formed my perspectives, I think then they'll know how I will be as a lawmaker. So a little bit about me. I was born and raised in Wood River, and I was raised to a single mom. My mom, Teresa, raised my brother and I, and my upbringing, I think, is very similar to a lot of families within this district. My father and my mother, they separated when I was born, and my father was never involved in our lives, and that created some very lean times for my family. And, my mother, to her credit, at the time was a very young housewife, and she had to make a decision. How am I going to support two boys? My brother was 10, I was a newborn. And she set out to provide for my brother and I, and she became a CNA, a nurse's aide. Extraordinarily difficult job, and the pay was low, but the hours were very long. And she found a way to provide for my brother and I, and we had to lean on government assistance. We were on food stamps. We were, we had the medical card. And if it wasn't for that assistance, I simply wouldn't be here today. And, my mom worked in the nursing home industry for 40 years. And that's basically where I grew up. And, I learned a lot from my mom. And she's my hero. And I learned how to work hard. I learned the importance of picking yourself up by the bootstraps. And I'm a graduate of public schools. I went to Wood River High School and K through 12. So I'm an Oiler, lived there most of my life. I became a police officer at the age of 21, and now I'm 47. So, I'm nearly 26 years into my career. I've had a blessed career. I've been extraordinarily fortunate. I am currently a captain at the Madison County Sheriff's Office. I am a deputy commander in the Major Case Squad of Greater St. Louis, so I've had the chance to command very complex and dynamic murder cases throughout this district. In fact, as a police officer, as an advocate for vulnerable populations, for senior citizens especially, I've been in every single city within my district, and that's given me a very unique perspective as to the needs of the people that I serve.
I was going to ask you that because not very many, that are running for election can say that because of your experience. I mean, you really are everywhere, and you have been in so many districts. How do you think that's affected your campaign in a positive way, or maybe even a little bit of a negative way? Has it?
It's been all positive for me.
Good.
And, because I know the communities, I know the people, I know, I was raised 2 blocks from the Wood River refineries, that, my mom and my family, for all of our struggles, it's really a tremendous story because that little house that we rented for all those years, well, my mom was able to buy that house. And now she owns that house. And it's not much, but it's hers. And she earned it. And everything that my family has, we've had to work extraordinarily hard for. And again, I'm going to continue to talk about my mom because born from my mom's efforts were my brother, who I would say is the best dad and the best father that I've ever met, and me. And I'm not perfect, but I've been able to raise my family, and that's my greatest accomplishment. And I've been able to go on to have a good life because of my mother and the role model that she was for me. My law enforcement perspective, I think people try to fit you into a square, into a box.
Right.
And I just don't think that as a candidate, as a senator, I fit into any box. I really don't. Although law enforcement is my wheelhouse, I went on to get my education. That was very important to me. So I know what that's like to be someone who's working, who wants to better himself or herself and what it requires. And, I put myself through school. I was the first person in my family to do so.
Wow.
And I was able to go to Lewis and Clark Community College full-time, going to night school as a police officer, got my associate's degree. And I was later able then to go on and get my undergrad and my graduate degree from Lindenwood, all while working as a police officer. So I know, when it comes to student loans, I know what that's like. I know the demands of being a father, working full-time, and the stressors that puts on a family, because I've lived through it. And representation and perspective, I think, are what our voters and what my constituents, what I hope they're thinking about.
Right.
Because I think that you want someone that's going to be in Springfield. I know that you want this. You want somebody that represents Southern Illinois values, but someone that knows what hardship, what it looks like, what it feels like, someone that can go up and zealously advocate for the community in which they serve. I'm a cancer survivor. I was diagnosed with cancer at age 28. I had my son Cameron was on his way at that point. My wife was pregnant with him, and I know what it's like for a family to get that kind of news and what that does to a family when it comes to stress. And then pursuant to that type of diagnosis, the uncertainty, the medical bills that come along with it, the insurance ramifications and the long-term consequence of a pre-existing condition. I know what that looks like. I know what that feels like. I have been that person. I am that person. And you need that in Springfield. The obvious hook here is, my law enforcement background. And clearly the big push-button topics right now are the police reform bill, our safety within our communities, our police force, our first responders. And a little bit about me, my son's a police officer in Wood River. He's an Army veteran. He's a police officer now. My nephew, my brother's son, is now a police officer as well. And my wife, Jamie, a corrections officer. I've dedicated my life to law enforcement. It's been my family's path. There's absolutely no one better suited in the General Assembly than myself to ensure that law enforcement and first responders get the resources that they need, that they have a voice in Springfield. And I will always be that. And if anybody ever has a doubt as to my sincerity, I ask only that they look at my body of work. And I ask this of anyone. When you're looking at a candidate, look at what they were doing before the cameras were rolling. Look at what they were doing before they were asking for your vote. Did they walk the walk? Did they talk the talk? And I'm a flawed man. I've made far more mistakes in my life than I wish that I had. But I know what law enforcement needs to be successful. I know the deficiencies within the Safety Act, and I know that I can make things better. And I also know that I can bring people together.
Right.
Which I think is what we need now.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm right there with you with coming together and really creating, dialogue. And, I want to circle back because you were appointed after Rochelle Odd Crow became the United States Attorney, correct?
That's right.
And, during that time, what has been your kind of biggest accomplishment, or maybe just one of those stories that you'll look back on and go, wow, I'm glad I'm in this role. I'm so glad, I got chosen for this, or because you've done the work. There's no doubt with your police background and all that you've done with the major case squad and without our region. But I mean, now you're in a different position, right? This is something. Did you ever expect this?
No, I'm not. I'm not a career politician. I'm just a guy. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a brother. I'm a son, and I'm a police officer. That's my background. And so, no, I'm not a career politician. I don't know. I don't owe anyone in Chicago or Springfield, contrary to what may get written on social media by others. I believe in my community, and I believe in the people that live here, and I'm going to fight for my family just like I'm going to fight for your family. And to answer your question, first off, and I'm glad you brought up Rochelle Crow because she was a tremendous advocate and warrior for our district, and I want to thank her for her service and for her service within the Senate. But I was very fortunate in that the transition from the time that I was appointed has been very seamless. And we were able to step into that role and hit the ground running from day one. And I think our greatest accomplishment is just making ourselves accessible.
Mm-hmm.
And the greatest gift that I have received from this is the ability to go and to listen. And I hope that all legislators take that same approach, because the inspiration for me wanting to go into this role is to ensure that there's always representation for our district, and one cannot represent this district effectively if they don't do a listening tour and if they don't listen to the stakeholders to find out what their needs are, what their concerns are, how I can do my job as senator better. And that is one of the greatest accomplishments I think that we've had in the short time we've been in this Senate seat, is we have listened to police chiefs, we have listened to constituents' concerns, the business leaders within our area. We're getting down and we're talking about what their challenges are, but most importantly, though, we're working together to find solutions to those challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is key. And so that has been the thing that I've enjoyed the most, is connecting with our community, connecting with our stakeholders, and figuring out solutions to some of the challenges that they encounter on a daily basis.
Absolutely. Hey, do you have a minute to stick around while we take a quick break, pay some bills?
Of course.
Awesome. Hey, it's 9:37. Our conversation with Senator Kris Tharp is going to keep rolling on down here in downtown Alton after a quick break. Hope you guys stay tuned to our daily show with CJ Nasello.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Once I got here to Lewis and Clark, I felt connected to this place.
It is about intellectual curiosity and people who want to work with faculty mentors and delve into the areas they're interested in.
And it gives the chance for students to develop a more full version of themselves.
Lewis and Clark for me is going to be the place that I found myself.
And they say you don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't spit into the wind, you don't pull a mask off an old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with Jim.
Oh, it's 9:38 right back here in the heart of the Riverbend. That's downtown Alton. And joining me like he was before the break, and if you're just tuning in, it's Senator Kris Tharp as we're looking towards the November election and getting some insight from our candidates and what they're all about. And I want to ask you, you have I've looked on your website, did some research. You have a pretty expansive policy and platform that you're working on and what you're trying to implement. Can you share that with us today?
Absolutely, and I'm glad that you asked.
Throw that in front of you.
Sure, got it. We do have, an aggressive agenda. As I said before, we set out and we began listening, and that's how this journey began. is listening. And of course, we were listening before the Senate, filling the Senate seat came to fruition. We were listening, and we had our finger on the pulse of this community. And our main objectives, number one, is ensuring that our communities are safe, that our law enforcement is fully supported, and law enforcement in our district is supported. We back our first responders, our police, our firemen, our EMS, and we're going to work tirelessly to ensure that they have the resources that they require. And again, if anyone doubts my sincerity on that, no, my son's a police officer. And for those of you out there that are parents, imagine how hard you would fight for your son or your daughter, and know that I will fight that hard for mine as a police officer, and then all my friends and all my loved ones that are in law enforcement. So that is going to be paramount to me, ensuring that our communities are safe, because communities cannot thrive if our citizens do not feel safe within them. We have to ensure people feel comfortable purchasing a home, and they want to feel safe within that home, within their community. We want them to be able to go out and have a fine night of dining or have a few drinks, go out and visit the sites. We have to ensure everyone's safe, everyone has that level of comfort. So that absolutely is paramount. Second, infrastructure. We have to make sure that our district is primed for long-term success. And one of the another great gifts that I have received since being senator is really getting my head wrapped around the tremendous opportunities we have here. And I'll give you an example. The Mississippi River, a viable waterway from the Gulf of Mexico all the way to Venice, Illinois, right within our district. We have the ability to have commodities brought right to us, not shipped from California, not shipped from Florida, but right into our district. We have a tremendous railway system, all that converge within our district. We have tremendous highways. We have warehouses. We have the most skilled workforce, I would argue, in the nation. We have to ensure that we continue to invest in that infrastructure that I just cited, but we also have to have vision to plan for long-term sustained success. So one of my main objectives is going to ensure that we're communicating with those stakeholders within that niche, and that we build on it. That way, if we have easy access to those commodities, that's going to drive prices down. If we focus our efforts on American-made products, furthermore on Illinois products, but if we focus on bringing those commodities and having them easily accessible to our constituents, it's going to drive down costs. It's going to provide for great jobs, with good paying jobs, with great benefits, and everybody succeeds. Beyond that, the crush of taxes, and property taxes in particular, and how it seems like we're always paying taxes, and it doesn't always seem to pay off for those that are working so hard to pay them. And I think that we've got to find a way, to have some relief, for our property owners in our district. And I know everybody, I'm a product of public schools, and I would love to work with my colleagues in the General Assembly to look for other ways that we can fund our schools and ensure that they're the quality of education that we want for our children, that our teachers are paid the wage that they most certainly deserve, because they have one of the most difficult jobs in the country. But I have to believe that there's a better way, and we're not just solely focused on property taxes to fund those schools. So I am dedicated to working with my colleagues to try to find a better way to make sure that our public schools are funded and that our teachers are paid the wage that they so deserve, but not off the backs of the people that work so hard within our district. Beyond that, my current role is that of jail administrator in Madison County. So I oversee the Madison County Jail right now. And I can tell you, it gives you a frontline perspective on what's going on in your community. And right now, mental illness, homelessness, and the scourge of drug use it's reached critical levels. I would argue that it's a crisis. Mental health in particular, we need more resources for those that are in mental health crisis, and it's a real problem. And I would say that it's related to homelessness as well. A lot of our homeless population that we have within our district are folks that are battling mental illness as well. And then oftentimes they self-medicate with illicit drugs. So there you have this vicious cycle.
Right.
And I'm absolutely dedicated to breaking that cycle.
Well, and let me ask you this, and I wanted to circle back, and this kind of ties all in together. Not very often do we have, and this isn't my, I'm not endorsing or anything. I just kind of my thought here. We don't have very many candidates that have lived, like a lot of us have, in poverty and going through these hardships and going through personal battles. And you're, on the ground as a police officer seeing this in front of your eyes, how do you think that has translated for you in the Senate? How do you think that's translated for you in your campaign? Has it been a lot easier to connect, you think, with voters like this because of your upbringing and because of your background?
It has been. And, I've been knocking on doors and making myself accessible and talking to groups small and large. And, it's about perspective. And, again, having a candidate that knows what it's like to stand in line for government cheese and government peanut butter and powdered milk. I've done that. I know what it feels like. Being, somebody that knows what it's like to worry about prescription costs. I know what that feels like. I go
Right.
through it. And people, they appreciate that. And it's about representation. And when it comes down to those that are advocating for us, those that are fighting for it, and we make no mistake about it, we need people that are going to fight for us. And this Senate seat has always been and will continue to be, under my tenure here, as a voice for everyone, whether you have abundance or whether you have very little. Everybody deserves to have a voice. And I know what it's like to be marginalized. I know, not having any money it's hard, and poverty it will beat you down. But equally though, I've seen the other side. I've seen what hard work can do. And when people speak praise to you and they elevate you, which I've been blessed to have mentors and role models who have invested in me
Right.
throughout my life, whether that's the teachers that I've had in public schools, mentors in law enforcement, whether it was my church as a kid, with them supporting my family when we needed it most. I know the power of being the light in someone's life and just the power of some kind words, because I've been the benefactor of that. And I think that most people in our district, they want that, I think, in a leader. They want that in somebody in Springfield, somebody that brings perspective and somebody that's going to fight for everyone, and not just for special interest groups, not just for people that have a lot of money, but for those that need it the most, the people that don't have a voice or they feel like they're not being seen.
Right.
And what I want people to know is I see them and I'm here and I'm not perfect and I'm going to stumble and I'm going to fall at times as a legislator, but I'm always going to try to do the best I can. I'm always going to listen, and I'm going to take all the concerns of my constituents to Springfield, and I'm going to fight for them.
Absolutely. And we only have a couple of minutes left. So for more information, what's your website? So if people want to know more about you or any type of events you have coming up, any speaking engagements, it's been a pleasure talking with you. And I really like that you're helping us kick off our candidate platform here, as we're going to try to have, like I said, everyone's got an invite, and we'll see what happens with that. But really appreciate your time. So what's that website, and how can people get a hold of you if they have any questions or concerns?
Very good. And again, thank you so much
Oh, yeah, no
for
problem.
the chance to be here. It means a lot to me. And again, just to be able to tell people who I am and what I would ask everybody to do when it comes to candidacy and looking at who you're going to support or not support. Look at, don't just go off of what you see on Facebook. Don't just go off.
Right.
Because that can be.
Wait, that's not accurate?
I know, right? Yeah. But on Facebook, you'll find me, Senator Kris Tharp or Kris Tharp for Senate on Facebook. The same thing, my website, Senator Kris Tharp, and also Kris Tharp for Senate. I'm very easy to find. My footprint is all over the internet right now. And I encourage you to like us and follow us on Facebook. See what we're doing. We're doing a lot of great things in the community. Again, know that my Senate office is always available if you've got a problem, if you've got a question. If we don't have the answer, we'll find it for you. And thank you for the opportunity to serve. To those that are listening, my service to the public has just been the honor of my life. And it's something that I don't take for granted, and know that the weight of the responsibility keeps me firmly grounded. And it's just an honor for me to be here. It's an honor for me to serve the people in this district.
Right, and I want to make sure, and not to cut you off, but we had somebody calling in. We don't take call-ins during interviews just because we like to keep everything flowing, so appreciate that. If you wanted to comment something, and we could have done it that way, but I don't know if it was a caller or not. We're still getting our caller ID figured out, Senator, but really appreciate your time. It was great talking with you. Good luck this fall, and if you ever need anything from me, you're more than welcome back on this show.
Thank you.
Awesome, guys. 9:49 right here in the heart of the Riverbend. Let's take that break and come right back for more of our daily show in downtown Alton.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBenderRadio.com.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Once I got here to Lewis and Clark, I felt connected to this place.
It is about intellectual curiosity and people who want to work with faculty mentors and delve into these areas they're interested in.
And it gives the chance for students to develop a more full version of themselves.
Lewis and Clark for me is going to be the place that I found myself.
Fasten your chin straps, ladies and gentlemen, because you are about to experience the most exciting lineup of CF Moto ATVs and side-by-sides ever to hit trails, rocks, and sand dunes. For 2021, we are introducing an awesome array of new features, plus some new models across 3 lineups. C-Force ATVs, U-Force utility side-by-sides, and Z-Force performance side-by-sides. CF Moto, experience more together.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
When you need reliable tires without breaking the bank, find a better deal than Cheapy's Tires. Our extensive selection of tires include all major brands, both new and used, along with rims. We'll get you where you need to be with more cash in your pocket. We can work with any budget and get you back on the road in no time. Rough weather is just around the corner, and low tread just won't do. So don't get stuck with bad wheels. Visit Cheapy's Tires on East Broadway in Alton today. Dependable tires at an unbelievable price. For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit Toyota.com or stop at their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at located on Humbert Road in Alton.
Oh, my darling, not 3 times on the ceiling if you want me.
Oh, 9:54 right back here on a Thursday in downtown Alton. You know, it's finally, I was telling you guys yesterday, I had the worst migraine. I mean, just the worst one for 2 days. I still have a little bit of a headache, but if you ever have those sinus migraines, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so if I was a little bit down in the dumps yesterday or not as bubbly, I apologize. And I just feel great today and having a great conversation with Senator Tharp. And like I said, this isn't going to be party or platform specific. I want every candidate that's running in the general election on this show because our job here is really to give you your daily dose of local. Right up there on that banner is why it says it because, so many times, and listen, I've been a part of shows that are politically based, and I still do technically every once in a while. But I just don't like gotcha radio. I don't like asking questions about bills because they're all up. Listen, if anyone's been in politics, you know that all bills are up to interpretation. I mean, it really does. Perception's king, right? So to have Senator Tharp on and just to get to know him, the person, get to know a little bit about what his true plans are without any, static, without any noise. That's why I appreciate your guys' phone call at the end of it. If it would have been a little bit earlier, we would have taken a break and I would have asked him if we would have done the caller, but I just don't like doing that. I like leaving it to the comment line during interviews, so that way it doesn't take away from the guest's time and the show's time, right? So, feel free if we have interviews to text in any questions you have. I'll ask them, even if they're not very good questions. I mean, that's what the comment line's for, right? And you guys watching on RiverBender.com, so many of you can text this show, 618-759-7469. That's 618-759-7469. And like I said, really enjoying this show and really enjoying the fact that we can have a show without having any political bias. So I'm really looking forward to more of those conversations with candidates on both sides that are running in November. Hey, like I said, Grafton Winery is coming up at the top of the 10 o'clock hour, but I got to just get this out of the way. So every once in a while we do an All-Star Award. To me, this is a very quick little soundbite here. This is the All-Star of the Year, okay? This is on television, and this is TMZ as they asked some of their employees some questions and play a little trivia. Here's what the answer was asking about a certain war, and, I don't think she knew that this war even happened.
Melanie, what war are we talking about here?
The Civil War?
No.
The Cold War?
No, that's wrong.
The First War?
First war.
No, the War of 1812. I didn't know there was a War of 1812.
Let me just fix that. We are doomed. Hey, guys, I want to tell you guys, Julianne Frazier came on this show yesterday. She was fantastic. Really just a great personality, a great person, and really just a great conversation. And like I said, always, you guys, if you miss a show, don't worry, because if you go to RiverBender.com/daily show, you can find all the past shows right there at the touch of a button. But like I was telling Julie yesterday, and I told you guys I would do it today, Working Towards a Cure is presenting the 9th annual Brawl Walk this Saturday. And they need your old dirty bras. And I hate to say it like that, but Julie had the best sales pitch of all time. For the bras that aren't willing to support you anymore, the wire's sticking out, they're trying to make the world's largest ball of bras. That's it. Baltimore has a pretty big ball of bras, and they want to they have to make it 6 feet. And, 6 feet wide, 6 feet tall, because I learned yesterday that's what a ball is. And they're needing bras. So if you see Julie out at the amphitheater on Saturday, or anytime, they have different events that they go to, different vending booths. There's these big blue bins. Find yourself a bra that you haven't used in, 5 years or 10 years. Maybe you outgrew one. Maybe you're wires sticking out, all the sorts, right? Because that goes towards a really great thing. I always pick fun at, some of the Guinness World Records when they make certain things, or, the most socks put on the foot is one I throw out all the time. But this is something really neat. This is raising awareness towards a great charitable organization, and I'm willing to help Working Towards a Cure, and I hope you are too. Their P.O. Box is 305 East Alton 62024, or if you have any more information, you can just, or want more information, you can call them at 618-259-7370. That's 618-259-7370. They're looking for your old bras to make the world's largest ball made out of bras. How cool is that? It's 9:59 right here in the heart of the Riverbend. We got top of the hour news coming up as we take another look at what's happening local and have some, actually I'll get this out now. Yesterday we were running the story, the last couple of days we were, of an individual that was on the loose and suspected armed and dangerous. That was Devin Kruger. Just 2 hours ago, he has been apprehended this morning by the United States Marshals. It was not due to a tip, Two Rivers Crime Stoppers is saying, but thank you to everyone that tried to help locate him was their message. And so there's your follow-up for that. And really just great to see the Marshals doing great work and getting people off the streets that need to be. And hey, guys, it's time for us to take a big break because I need one. It's 9:59 in the heart of the Riverbend. Coming right back with top of the hour news.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check out today, RiverBender.com.
Won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Once I got here to Lewis and Clark, I felt connected to this place.
It is about intellectual curiosity and people who want to work with faculty mentors and delve into these areas they're interested in.
And it gives a chance for students to develop a more full version of themselves.
Lewis and Clark for me is going to be the place that I found myself.
Fasten your chin straps, ladies and gentlemen. You are about to experience the most exciting lineup of CF Moto ATVs and side-by-side ever to hit the trails, rocks, and sand dunes. For 2021, we are introducing an awesome array of new features, plus some new models across 3 lines. C-Force ATVs, U-Force utility side-by-sides, and E-Force performance side-by-sides. CF Moto, experience more together.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can.
When you need reliable tires without breaking the bank, you won't find a better deal than Cheapy's Tires. Our extensive selection of tires include all major brands, both new and used, along with rims. We'll get you where you need to be with more cash in your pocket. We can work with any budget and get you back on the road in no time. Rough weather is just around the corner, and low tread just won't do. So don't get stuck with bad wheels. Visit Cheapy's Tires on East Broadway in Alton today. Dependable tires at an unbelievable price. For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find a vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and wood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices. Located on Humbert Road in Alton.
Oh, it's 10:04 right back here on this Thursday in the heart of the Riverbend. That's downtown Alton, and we take a look at your local news for the top of the 10 o'clock hour, and we follow the story of Madison County State's Attorney Tom Hain on Wednesday sent a letter to Governor J.B. Pritzker saying he is willing to work with the governor to correct problems with the Safety Act before it takes effect January 1st. Hain's letter said the Safety Act, which abolishes the cash bail system in Illinois, will limit the ability of his office as well as local judges to detain dangerous defendants prior to trial. Haynes said the new law will prohibit the detention of some defendants prior to trial despite their level of threat to the community or their likelihood of being no-shows for court. He wrote in his letter, with courageous leadership, I truly believe that a reform of our cash bail system can be accomplished that does not put our communities at risk. He continued, I welcome the opportunity to discuss the important public safety issue further with you as we approach the Safety Act's January 1st, 2023 effective date. In the meantime, I am committed to accurately informing the public and working towards meaningful change to the act prior to implementation. And in Troy, a GoFundMe has been established for Sue Tomlinson, who tragically died on September 22nd during a house fire in the 500th block of Woodthrush Street in Troy. Her daughter, Courtney Tomlinson, and two granddaughters, Serenity and Zania Green, survived. Michael Sloan Jr. has been charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and other charges in connection with Sue Tomlinson's death. She is also survived by her nephew, Richard Housen, and his wife, Amy, and great-nephews, Gabe and K.C. Mize. Maddie Rudolph has organized this fundraiser. Rudolph said, on September 22nd, our beloved Sue was tragically taken from us and her community by one of the most horrific fires. Not just any fires, she was intentionally murdered. This is truly a tragedy. It's a nightmare you just can't wake up from. Rudolph said Sue was well known and loved throughout the small Troy community, and Maddie said any money left over after the funeral will be used to help move the daughter and grandchildren away from the horrible scene of this tragic murder and help Sue help her girls one last time. For more information on that GoFundMe, it's available at RiverBender.com. In Alton and YWCA Southwestern, Illinois recognizes the importance of civil engagement. As part of YWCA USA, we know how critical it is for voters to get educated and use their voices every day, and especially on Election Day. In an effort to educate voters on Madison County candidates that will appear on ballots in November, YWCA Southwestern Illinois Get Out to Vote Project is hosting a Madison County Candidates Forum on Tuesday, October the 18th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the gymnasium at YWCA. That's 304 East 3rd Street in Alton. They will start with 2 candidates for state senate, followed by the candidates for state representative. Then the county clerks will follow. You may access the gymnasium through the parking lot on George Street, which is the preferred entry for those with mobility issues. You can also park on 3rd Street and enter the facility through their front doors. The gym is located on the 2nd floor, so you'll need to be able to climb up their stairs using this entrance. If you have any questions, please contact YWCA Southwestern Illinois or email info@ywcaswil.com. And in Jerseyville, we have an update on Devin Kruger. He was captured today by United States Marshals after yesterday Two Rivers Crime Stoppers offered a $3,000 cash reward for helping locate the man, considered armed and dangerous, to help get him off the streets. He was apprehended as Two Rivers Crime Stoppers sent out a press release or a statement just 2 hours ago that the United States Marshals have captured Kruger and he is in custody. This was not due, though, to a tip to Twin Rivers Crime Stoppers. In Alton, the Hainer Public Library's district inaugural local author book fair promotes local authors' literacy and library programming, services, and collections this fall. Hainer Library will host its inaugural local author book fair, where you can meet nearly 30 local authors, buy their books, and have them signed. The event will be held on October the 8th from 9 to 12 in the morning. If necessary, a rain date is scheduled for Saturday. That's October the 15th. The event will feature library card registration, a showcase of non-traditional library materials available for checkout, some giveaways, and other library highlights. There will also be activities, crafts, and story time for the kids. Hot and iced pastries will be available for purchase from Germania Brewhouse. And hey, the Riverbender Rafter will also be roving around the book fair. For your amusement, you can browse or make purchases, and be sure to leave some time to explore the downtown library and the beautiful Hainer Genealogy and Local History Library. The Friends of Hainer, located at 327 State Street, will also hold a book sale on this day. My apologies, I tried to hold that one in. Find a new favorite author and stock up your book collection to keep you busy during the approaching cold winter. And there are so many talented local artists they've put in their press release in our community who deserve your support. They also said free parking will be available in the municipal parking lot across the downtown street from the downtown library on Bell Street between 4th and 5th Streets. And in Edwardsville, the Daughters of Isabella O'Reilly, Circle 218 in Edwardsville, is having a baby shower drive from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, October the 8th at St. Boniface Church in the parking lot to benefit Mosaic and ABL. The Daughters of Isabella group is a Catholic women's group. The local chapter encompasses multiple churches in the Edwardsville area. Cindy from Daughters of Isabella said the group had a guest speaker, Kathy Sparks, on September the 19th, and Regent Barb Sartorius presented the check to Mosaic. The baby shower drive wish list is as follows. They are looking for pull-up sizes 5 and 6, diapers in all sizes, diaper wipes, crib sheets, neutral personal care items for the baby and mom, some sleepers, boys and girls clothes 6 to 12 months, onesies for 3 months and 9 months for boys winter out, and onesies for 3 months and for 9 months, and also boys winter outfits for 3 months and 9 months, baby bathtub, boys hooded towels, baby boy shoes, thermometers, teethers, burp cloths, and more. And like I said, that drive will be 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, October the 8th at St. Boniface Church in the parking lot to benefit Mosaic and ABL. Organizers of the event said please do not contribute anything used, and they also said car seats are bigger items that could be donated. That's a look at your local news right here at the top of the 10 o'clock hour. We got to get ready. We got wine on the way. That's right. Jameson with Grafton Winery is in the house, and they got Harvest Fest coming up this week, and we learn about that and so much more about Grafton Winery right after this on our daily show in downtown Alton.
Fasten your chin straps, ladies and gentlemen, because you are about to experience the most exciting lineup of CF Moto ATVs and side-by-sides ever to hit the trails, rocks, and sand dunes. For 2021, we are introducing an awesome array of new features, plus some new models across 3 lineups: C-Force ATVs, U-Force Utility Side-by-Sides, and Z-Force Performance Side-by-Sides. CF Moto, experience more together.
When you need reliable tires without breaking the bank, you won't find a better deal than Chibi's Tires. Our extensive selection of tires include all major brands, both new and used, along with rims. We'll get you where you need to be with more cash in your pocket. We can work with any budget and get you back on the road in no time. Rough weather is just around the corner, and low tread just won't do. So don't get stuck with bad wheels. Visit Chibi's Tires on East Broadway in Alton today. Dependable tires at an unbelievable price.
Kris Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
For the biggest selection of premium cars, trucks, and SUVs in the river, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Supernatural delights. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling.
You will be dancing in the moonlight, technically, sunlight. I don't know. The Sunday at Harvest Fest. Where are we dancing? Is it going to be in the day?
It's going to be in the day and sunny too.
Oh, there you go. And a beautiful weekend for it.
Yeah, it is.
And I got Jameson here with me with Grafton Winery. And your Harvest Fest is looking pretty good. Let's talk a little bit about that. Just dive right into Harvest Fest this Sunday. What can we expect? What time does it start? And how do we get there?
Yeah, so it's our second annual one. We started last year, and we've got the perfect setting up there. We're next to Eckert's in Grafton. So Harvest Fest just kind of seems to be the thing to do. So we open at 11 o'clock, close at 6. So it's an all-day thing. We've got live music from 1 to 5 with the Robert Perry Band.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of do classic rock from 60s to 80s.
Cool.
So good variety of stuff. We've got several vendors this year, probably around 10 to 12, ranging from, a vendor bringing honey in to a little bit of woodwork, jewelry. And we've got an ice cream truck. They'll do cotton candy as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. And, let me ask you about this location. When did you guys open this one up?
So this one was 2015. It was built and opened, and it was primarily for production of the wine.
Mm-hmm.
We just need a little bit more space. And then we put a tasting room on, a big pavilion for events, weddings, and stuff like that.
And I want to ask you about the tasting room, too, before we go any further, because I was reading on your website, which really is so accessible. I was reading through it, and I'm going, this tasting room is really neat. So throughout the week, you have to schedule a time, right, to go in and do the taste?
Yeah, so right now at the Vineyards, we are open Thursday through Sunday. So anytime we're open, you can come up there and do a wine tasting.
Oh, cool.
And if you do have a larger groups, we do by appointment only on those for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And, how has that been for you guys to open up that location? Because, so many of us see, know the, the flagship, I guess, the landmark location right there in, Grafton.
Yeah.
But, man, it's beautiful. I mean, it's really one of the nicest spots around.
Yeah, it is. In 2008 is when Mike and Lori, Nick and Navish, the owners, opened up the Grafton Winery in downtown Grafton, and it built the brand, and Mike just needed more space. So when he threw the vineyards up there in 2015, that's more of your traditional wine country feel up there.
Right.
It's beautiful, peaceful. We've got the vineyards, a lake it overlooks and stuff as well.
Yeah, and absolutely. And I want to ask you a little bit more. We'll circle back to all of that, but I got to ask you, how long have you been doing Harvest Fest? So this is a newer event, or is this something you've been doing for quite a while?
No, this is newer. This is our second year.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Because this time of year is our busiest time between harvesting our own grapes, weddings, and just the other location is so busy. But we just decided last year to do it, and then we're going to make it an annual thing.
That's really cool. And I saw, too, that you're going to have like this thing where you're right next to Eckert's, so you can go pick up your pumpkins and all that, and you kind of had a nice little pitch to it. But you're right. I mean, you're really you're positioned so nice that you can go have a glass of wine, and then I wouldn't recommend this. Don't take your kids after you have the glass of wine to Eckert's. Maybe go before.
Oh, yeah.
And then Uber home. I don't know. Don't get me in trouble here.
No, my wife will go over there with the kids all the time and then come over for a glass of wine after. But it's perfect because they've got fall activities for the kids and stuff too. And it's, we're good partners with Eckert's.
That's what I thought. I knew that you guys worked pretty well. And you work well with a lot of local businesses and local things. How important has that been for your guys' growth? Because, I mean, there's a reason you guys are almost, I would say, flagship status in the region.
Well, it's huge. I mean, the Riverbend area, there's a lot of great businesses and restaurants and, we try to work together with all of them because it benefits everybody. You know, there's a lot of people that come to this location and spread the wealth around. It's just a good thing for local businesses to collaborate.
Right, absolutely. And I got to ask you about some of the things that you guys offer up at the Vineyards. There was events that you guys do. You have so many other, opportunities for somebody to utilize your space. Do you care to go elaborate on that for people that are interested?
Yeah, we host a lot of weddings, these types of festivals, corporate events and work parties. And then within the last, 4 months, maybe we've introduced a nice food menu up there.
Yeah.
My hospitality manager, Kip, has developed a menu of flatbreads, gourmet sandwiches, charcuterie boards, beer, wine, and we also have craft cocktails up there as well.
That's really cool. Can we? So I know I have a problem, guys, but can we talk about the craft cocktails before we talk about the food? I got to ask you about those. I've never heard of those before. That sounds interesting.
We introduced that kind of along with the food, but we've got some wonderful. We make a great old fashioned, a Manhattan up there, and Kip has changed up to make more of a fall-centered cocktail menu as well. So we've got some nice bourbons up there for people to try, and it's really morphing into something good up there.
Nobody call me on Sunday. No, I really think it's great. And, whether or not it's, your wedding venue space or anything other than that, I mean, you have so many opportunities we do to go up to Grafton Winery and utilize it. And to me, I'm just so curious, and I know I'm kind of going back and forth here, but I'm just kind of thinking off the top of my head before I look at my notes. And I got to ask you about this winemaking process. And got a text coming in. They have unbelievable charcuterie boards. Thank you. 618-759-7469 if you want to comment that in, and I really appreciate that text. And, that's the thing is we've noticed. I mean, I want to ask you about the winemaking. So let me ask that first, and then I'll spin off on everything else. How does that process work? To me, this has to be, years in the making to make a good batch of wine?
It is. I mean, there's so many different ways to wines made and different varietals and stuff. So we do have three varietals out there. We grow a Vidal, Vignoble, and Chardonnay. So we just harvested those. So Mike, the owner, is the winemaker as well. So he's in the process of getting all that fermented. He'll probably barrel age some of it. And then a lot of the fruit wines that we make, that's a bulk of what we do. Our apple crisp, blackberry, strawberry, and stuff like that.
Wow, that's so cool, man. And because I've always wondered that. I mean, I've heard it's an art form. It's not really even a science. You have to know what you're doing to really make that.
Mike does an awesome job, and he's made such a great product.
And how many wines do you have available right now?
It's probably 18 to 19, I think. We have everything from the sweet stuff to a wonderful Cabernet Sauvignon from California.
Right, and that's all available on your website, too, I was looking at.
Yeah, most of it is, yes.
And for Illinois, I like that, too, because I didn't realize that there's different... I mean, I'm just oblivious to this. I'm like, why does it say Illinois and Missouri? You have to click on this.
Yeah, that's all shipping compliance stuff. So we can ship to certain states, and then we partner with someone to help us get to a couple other states.
Gotcha,
But yeah,
man.
we can ship to close to 35 plus states.
Really cool. And see, I would have never guessed that. I learned something today. See, my show's good for something. All the naysayers. But anyway, I got to ask you about, just the development of your guys' brand, because you guys have always seemed to be evolving without changing who you guys are, which is so important, right?
Yeah.
And from the development of the, charcuterie boards to doing all these different things, who do you think's been most influential in that? Is that just a team effort that you guys sit down, once or twice a month and go, we need to kind of look towards doing this? Or is this something that's just off the top of somebody's head one day and goes, that might be cool to do?
Well, I mean, it's, Mike and Lori, they started with a little boutique winery they had in Edwardsville, and then started the Grafton Winery. And I mean, since day one there, they put so much effort and work into this brand, and it just built it continuously. They've had a vision the whole time. And the Vineyards location, that's their idea of a winery. It's quaint, quiet, peaceful up there. And so we're starting to kind of get that one going for them as well, to what they wanted it to always be.
Well, and too, I mean, I think a lot of us can agree with me. I mean, it's so great to have this right here in our own backyard, and without driving to, way down at, Missouri and the countryside. I mean, we're 25 minutes away from a winery that has that same type of feel with actually, in my opinion, better wine. But, I mean, hate to throw that out there, but that's really important, and that's just such a great thing to have in our own backyard. Hey, do you have a minute to take a quick break?
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's do that, and we'll talk about Harvest Fest, all the details, and then some more about how you can get out there and see what Grafton Winery has to offer at the vineyards right after this in downtown Alton.
Fasten your chin straps, ladies and gentlemen, because you are about to experience the most exciting lineup of CF Moto ATVs and side-by-sides ever to hit the trails, rocks, and sand dunes. For 2021, we are introducing an awesome array of new features, plus some new models across 3 lineups: C-Force ATVs, U-Force Utility Side-by-Sides, and Z-Force Performance Side-by-Sides. CF Moto, experience more together.
When you need reliable tires without breaking the bank, you won't find a better deal than Chibi's Tires. Our extensive selection of tires include all major brands, both new and used, along with rims. We'll get you where you need to be with more cash in your pocket. We can work with any budget and get you back on the road in no time. Rough weather is just around the corner, and low tread just won't do. So don't get stuck with bad wheels. Visit Cheapy's Tires on East Broadway in Alton today. Dependable tires at an unbelievable price.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
We don't need to do any California dreaming because we got a winery right here in our own backyard. That's Grafton Winery. The Vineyards is what we're talking about today. Harvest Fest coming up in just a few short days on Sunday. And again, what time's that start and how can we follow along?
Yeah, so 1 to 5 with the music, but 11 to 6 we'll have the vendors going.
Oh, cool.
All day long. So.
And how many vendors did you say you had? I mean, I know you guys have numerous.
Yeah, about 10 to 12 of them, I think, this year.
Oh, really nice. Really nice. And another thing I saw that I think is really cool is the On the Rocks tasting series. Can you, before I butcher this, can I just ask you to kind of give us an overview and throw me a rope and save me?
Yeah, definitely. Again, this was always something Mike and Lori wanted to do. It was, cigars under the stars or something. So we threw together this. First one we did was a bourbon tasting. We partner with AP Cigar from Alton. He comes up there, and so with your ticket, you get the tasting, some hors d'oeuvres, and a cigar.
Right on.
And we've got one of our reps that goes through and does a little spiel on each bourbon that we taste. And so it's kind of a fun educational event. This one that we're doing is going to be November 4th, and it's going to be a brand out of Memphis, actually, called Dominic's, Old Dominic's. So they've got a variety, a couple whiskeys.
I've heard of them, actually.
Yeah, I think they got a gin, too, and another blended one. So it's going to be a fun time. We're going to get tickets going for that. It'll be online, but probably within the next week, we'll start selling tickets.
Awesome. And yeah, I see you got hors d'oeuvres plus the cigar and all of that. I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
No, it's fun. And like I said, the guy that does it, he makes it really a good time. So.
And that's what it's all about, right? I mean, how many times, I got to ask you this because I've known a sommelier or two where you're like, oh my God, guy, come on, get to the point.
Right.
We got people that are having a good time. And that's what I think so much, really enjoy about you guys is you educate without taking away from the experience.
Absolutely.
And I think that's really the most important part about, the atmosphere up with you guys.
Yeah. Well, people are coming to have fun.
Right.
I don't want to bore them with some things, but make it a good, fun, educational experience.
Right on, man. And I got to ask you about your shop because I looked through it and, well, thank God I didn't have my credit card on me because that wouldn't have ended well. But I think it's great that you guys also offer, I saw on your website like 10% off for buying 12 bottles of wine or two.
Yeah, definitely.
That's so neat.
Just a case discount, 10%. Yeah. And then Wine Club members we have, they get 20% off any bottle of wine as well.
Can we talk about Wine Club?
Yeah.
How do we sign up? That sounds cool.
Yeah, typically it's going to be at the restaurant or the winery.
Okay.
We're going to have an online feature shortly. It's kind of in the works right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, work in progress on that.
So we got to show up there and do we just ask to be a part of the
Wine
Club?
Yeah, just show up, have fun, and ask about the Wine Club, and we've got little Wine Club cards they fill out with their information.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Man, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, it's good.
And do you get any, how many bottles can you get a month? Is there a limit?
So the Wine Club members, they basically agree to purchase 3 bottles of wine a quarter at a 20% discount. We have a little Wine Club member soiree for them. they attend, they can pick it up, or they can just hold it at the winery to pick up at a later time or get it shipped to them.
A quarter. That's actually really doable. I mean, that's
Yeah,
easy.
it's not bad at all.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Right.
3 bottles of wine
Gives
like
you a reason to come up to Grafton, too.
Right. Oh, that's true. And how important is that? Because, I mean, guys really do a great job of making sure I mean, I hate to say distribute the wealth, but you're distributing, making sure that you're connecting yourselves with everybody in Grafton.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, people come up to Grafton. They're not all coming to one location, so they go around to all the different restaurants and businesses in town, and it helps and benefits everybody.
Right on. And I want to ask you more about some of the things that you guys have at Grafton Winery, some of the rooms. The tasting room, the Confluence patio. I mean, so many really cool things. Can you take us through some of the features of those? Maybe I know a lot of us have been there, but for maybe someone who hasn't yet.
Yeah, the Confluence patio. It's outside. It's covered. Where the two rivers meet up and stuff. So we rent that space out for parties, bridal showers, stuff like that. And then the tasting room is where we will host our tastings on the weekend. That's downstairs. It was actually the old original brew house when they first started making beer there.
Right on.
But then, we have 2 large patios, and this winter we'll have our rooftop igloos back again.
I got to ask you about those. That sounds super cool.
No, it's fun. It's, people love the experience of being outside still, so we offer them in a heated igloo with lights and furniture and stuff, so they can order drinks, food, and beverage out there. So it's always a good time.
And that's perfect because what's better than there's nothing more cool than looking at the river if it's a little bit frozen
absolutely.
over.
And COVID played into that whole thing with wanting an outdoor experience still, and so we're gonna keep going with it. We got 2 of them this year. Reservations will probably start beginning to mid-November on those.
That's really neat. And I got to ask you about that. That's a great point. I mean, with COVID, you guys really had to get creative in a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
And how did that kind of help benefit you guys in a sense? Because COVID really wasn't beneficial in terms of finances or anything.
No.
But in terms of being creative and expanding some things, did that kind of help you guys out a little bit?
Yeah, it did. And we were fortunate. We can open our garage doors up there and make it a nice open air feel.
Right.
So, this whole week is going to be like that this weekend because the weather's beautiful.
Yeah.
So we can open the doors and it's essentially an outdoor space. So it was nice for us to have that.
Absolutely. And, like I said, guys, Harvest Fest is this Sunday. I'm going to try my best to get up there if I'm not hurting too bad because I'll be in Grafton doing a wrestling match on Friday. And if I have a broken leg, is there handicap accessible?
Oh, absolutely.
I didn't know that, and that's a funny question.
Yeah,
I didn't
both
mean to be funny
locations
about
are.
it.
Yeah.
So that's really neat, especially where you're at, up at the vineyards.
Yep.
That's really important to have. What are some of the other things that are going on maybe throughout the summer or throughout the winter that I'm forgetting about? Anything that, maybe it's a wine tasting night. Or do you guys do those around the regular? Or is that kind of
wine tastings we do have all the time. We're going to throw together events and stuff.
Right.
We do live music year-round at our main location in downtown Grafton.
Right.
So we keep it going.
And really cool. And then a couple more minutes left. So I want to circle back to Harvest Fest.
Yeah.
What times it start again? What times it end? Let's get people out there.
Definitely. So like I said, 11 to 6. We're going to be there. There's going to be activities going on. Eckert's opens maybe at 9 o'clock even. So they're going to be open and having all their stuff going on. There's a lot of apples to be picked out there.
Don't throw them.
Yeah, they've got different activities, and then they'll just roll over to what we're doing too. So we'll have vendors outside lined up in the parking lot area, so they're accessible to everybody.
Really
It'll be a
cool.
fun time.
Absolutely, and I'm looking forward to it. And then one last time, I do want to ask, make sure we get that to the igloos. When is that registration starting? Because like you said, that was really a big thing for you guys. A lot of people were wanting to be a part of that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to get the online reservation system up by early November.
Right.
So then we'll start taking them, and the idea, hopefully, beginning of December, we'll start going with them.
Well, I hate to ask you this. This might be a hardball or a softball, depending on the way, the question's phrased. But you've been there for a couple of years now. You've had some, time to really let the hair down. Is there one story maybe of a party, of a group, of an individual that you go, oh my God, never again will this happen? Maybe it's just something fun that you can share with us that's not going to put us in jail.
No, yeah. Oh God, I don't know about that. But we've got, we do a lot of music there, and we've got a following of folks maybe a little older than others, right? That they love dancing, and they come out there and they dance every Saturday and Sunday depending on who it is. And I've got one guy, he actually, I think he hurt something in his knee, requires surgery. Well, he still comes in, he just sits there, and I got to tell him every time, do not get up and dance, Bob. Okay, you're going to re-injure this thing. But people come and they just live for dancing, and they come and enjoy
The
themselves at the
atmosphere.
winery.
Yeah, the atmosphere. That is so neat. Well, Jameson, I really appreciate your time today. And for more information on Grafton Winery at the Vineyards, what website is that again?
TheGraftonWinery.com.
Cool.
Yep.
And then you can find the shop there, find all the information, and book that wedding. You might want to book early if you're getting married 3 years from now. But because you guys are booked for those, that's
fall's always a big time for us.
That's
so,
what I figured.
Yep.
Well, man, I hope it goes well Sunday. I'll see you up there, and thank you
thanks.
for your time today.
Thanks, EJ.
Awesome. It's 10:34 in the heart of the Riverbend. Let's take that break. We'll come back after this for more of our daily show.
RiverBender Radio built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center, Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Once I got here to Lewis and Clark, I felt connected to this place.
It is about intellectual curiosity and people who want to work with faculty mentors and delve into these areas they're interested in.
And it gives the chance for students to develop a more full version of themselves.
Lewis and Clark for me is going to be the place that I found myself.
Fasten your chin straps, ladies and gentlemen, because you are about to experience the most exciting lineup of CF Moto ATVs and side-by-sides ever to hit trails, rocks, and sand dunes. 2021, we are introducing an awesome array of new features, plus some new models across 3 lineups. C-Force ATVs, U-Force Utility side-by-sides, Z-Force Performance side-by-sides. CF Moto, experience more together.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
When you need reliable tires without breaking the bank, you won't find a better deal than Cheapy's Tires. Our extensive selection of tires include all major brands, both new and used, along with rims. We'll get you where you need to be with more cash in your pocket. We can work with any budget and get you back on the road in no time. Rough weather is just around the corner, and low tread just won't do. So don't get stuck with bad wheels. Visit Cheapy's Tires on East Broadway in Alton today. Dependable tires at an unbelievable price. For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit Toyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagle's Discount Carpet. Ed Eagle's has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagle's, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices. Located on Humbert Road in Alton.
You, my brown-eyed girl, do you remember when
Oh, it's 10:38 right back here in the heart of the Riverbend. That's downtown Alton on the 29th of September. And, something I saw was really kind of neat. And this is something that it's a little bit lighthearted and something that was sent my way. And we're going to play this probably every other day or every 3 days. But this is called Something Kids Learn from Cartoons.
It's time for Things Kids Learn from Cartoons.
We don't fish for the fish. 90% of what I like about this sport, and it is a sport, is sitting in the boat for 5 hours doing nothing. And the icing on the cake is when God smiles on you and you hook one. And then when you're reeling it in, everything else falls away. You don't think about taxes or traffic or that pushy gal that's trying to get into the Citadel or who's going to take care of you when your mother and I are old and incapacitated. All there is a man, a rod, a lake, and a fish. And it all starts with a hand-dug American worm.
That's it for Things Kids Learn from Cartoons.
I love that. I think that's a great segment. And that's true, even though I don't like fishing too much. Anyway, 10:40 right here in the heart of the Riverbend. But, at this point in time, we already had some great guests. We already had some great conversation. If you have anything on your mind, maybe something a guest said earlier that resonated with you, something that you want to get off your chest and vent about, you can do so by calling this phone, 618-759-7469, 618-759-7469. But while I'm waiting for you to call, we got some real all-stars for the day. Couple of quick ones right off the bat. Scientists in China asked the public to keep an eye out for a giant weather balloon that drifted away. The balloon had weather forecasting instruments in it to detect temperature, pressure, and humidity. Also wind at high altitudes. They can't find the darn thing. Someone keep an eye out. They're an all-star. What about this one? Here's another one. Burglars working to cut their way through a roof and into a tobacco and liquor store in Italy misjudged their location and spent too much of their time drilling a hole in an overhang that covered the sidewalk outside the store. They drilled the wrong hole. The burglars then realized their mistake and tried to drill a second hole closer to the center of the roof, but gave up before getting through. Oh, don't be a quitter. You're already in it that far. You might as well stick and do the job, Anyway, we still got some more all-stars. Oh, where do we begin? I'll bring you right back to a follow-up story that we had just a few short days ago. Remember when I was telling you guys about that squirrel that shut down that Scottish bakery and they couldn't find it? It was still in the bakery. They had to close it down. They finally captured the darn thing. A protected red squirrel that shut down a Scottish bakery for 3 days was finally captured safely and relocated to a natural habitat. The Greg's Bakery was closed Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday after a red squirrel was found to have taken up residence inside the building. Initial attempts to safely capture the red squirrel, which is protected in Scotland as a protected species, were unsuccessful. But the bakery chain did confirm on Twitter late Wednesday night that the animal had been ensnared in a humane trap. Greg's posted a video showing the squirrel being released in the woods on the banks of the Dunmore River there. The shop is now closed for deep clean and will reopen this week, squirrel-free. Hey, another... A California high school is in the all-star category today. It announced its homecoming dance will be rescheduled after, you guessed it, bats were found living in the gym. The Davis Joint Unified School District said the dance at Davis Senior High School had been scheduled for Saturday, but will instead be held at an undetermined date in the future due to its presence of bats in the gym. That's right, after immediate consultation with YOLO County Animal Control and professionals who specialize in bat abatement, we learned we could not remove the bats from the gym in time for the dance. Corey Kirk, a researcher and educator for the research group Northern California Bats, well, that's a group, said the school's unwanted residents are likely Mexican free-tailed bats, and the guys tend to be the culprit in the building. So they've identified them at least, and hopefully that school can, have their dance. I saw this. A Pennsylvania-based store chain celebrated its 40th anniversary by breaking a Guinness World Record the other day. That's right, with a bobblehead figure measuring 16 feet, 6.73 inches high. That's 16 feet, 0.673 inches high. Ole's Bargain Outlet unveiled the giant bobblehead, made in the image of the store mascot Ollie on Wednesday at the chain's flagship location in Harrisburg. For 40 years, we've been committed to offering huge deals on brand name merchandise, so we wanted to create something big to help honor our anniversary. And what better than a 16-foot bobblehead? Do you really want me to answer that question? That's what President John Swigert said in a statement. Guinness World Record rules required the bobblehead to be an oversized replica of an existing model, which Ollie sells as a promotional item. I want to see this store. The team behind the giant bobblehead used 3D modeling, hand sculpting, carving, and painting to create the fully functional bobblehead for over the course of 4 months. The previous record was set when Florida-based Applied Underwriters unveiled a bobblehead that measured 15 feet, 0.4 inches high. But here's my question. What happens if that thing's, the head falls off during a wind gust and it falls on top of you? What do? Who do you call? You call Sean Lentz for a personal injury case. That's who you call. Your neighbor might have a good lawn guy, a good car guy, but do they got a good lawyer? The answer is probably not. Let's face it, finding an honest and thorough attorney is hard to come by. So here's my gift to all of you. It's Sean Lentz, my lawyer, and quite frankly, the best. Sean has years of experience and great results to add on top of it. Whether you need him now or in the future, just write his number down, because you don't want to be reactive to those situations. You want to be ahead of the curve. You want to be proactive and save yourself days, weeks of precious time finding an attorney by saving 618-465-8000. 618-465-8000. Listen, Sean's a hometown guy. His office is right up there at 2600 Edward Street. That's 2600 Edward Street, right across from Centerstone. He has years of experience and tons of great results to add on top of it. Whether you need him for personal injury, which he's the best, he also does some criminal matters too, like traffic tickets and DUIs. But if he doesn't really specialize in that litigation, don't worry. He has a strong contact book. And with that contact book, he will find you probably multiple people that will do just as good of a job as he would do and make sure that your needs are met, because that's how nice of a guy Sean is. He's not that big tie, big coat wearing lawyer that makes you feel intimidated when you go into the office and kind of makes you feel uneasy. He's just a nice guy that knows his stuff. He's down to earth and he's there to help you, whether it's dog bites, medical malpractice, trucking cases, motorcycle accidents, all of the above. Sean's got you covered. He also does negligence and medical malpractice, and trust me, you need him. He is the best. 618-465-8000, 618-465-8000. My gift to you has not just been a good lawyer, my personal lawyer, and that's the truth. 465-8000, 618-465-8000, or 2600 Edward Street, right up there in Upper Alton. Just remember, you never need to know a lawyer until you need to know a lawyer. So why don't you know my lawyer, Sean Lentz at the Lentz Law Firm, 618-465-8000. Short break, and we're coming right back in downtown Alton.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Once I got here to Lewis and Clark, I felt connected to this place.
It is about intellectual curiosity and people who want to work with faculty mentors and delve into these areas they're interested in.
And it gives the chance for students to develop a more full version of themselves.
Lewis and Clark for me is going to be the place that I found myself.
Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Hey there, Mr. Blue, it's a place to be with you. Look around, see what you do.
Oh, 10:49. We're right back here, heart of the Riverbend, downtown Alton, on this September 29th day, a beautiful fall morning. Glad you guys have been tuning in with me. And before I let you go today, I want to let you know what the council voted on at Wednesday's Alton City Council meeting. Members approved ordinance number 7856, which grants a special use permit to allow a utility-scale solar system array at the former Albee Street landfill, and also approved the second reading of ordinance 7851, which adopts Title IV, Chapter 24, to the City Code of Ordinances regarding adult-use cannabis business establishments. The special use permit appears to move forward negotiations with Amoresco about a plan to construct a large-scale array at the former Albee Street landfill. Negotiations have been going on for a long period of time for this change. A solar array is a collection of multiple solar panels that generate electricity as a system. Amoresco is a leading clean tech integrator and renewable energy as asset developer, owner, and operator. More could be coming soon about a cannabis dispensary business utilizing the adult use business establishment change. Other highlights were Mayor Goings also saluting Tammy Smith-Williams of the Precious Organization for her annual sickle cell walk, which was once again a large success. He read the proclamation given to her. The walk has raised thousands of dollars over the years to assist in awareness of the disease and in research. The council also approved the temporary closure of sections of state highways, Illinois Route 140 and Illinois Route 67, for the annual Alton Halloween Parade, a standard procedure each year. So I'm glad we got the city council meeting minutes out to you. And just like I said, another thing that's in the news Riverbender has been covering was the warrants issued for Devin A. Kruger, who was wanted, considered armed and dangerous. Two Rivers Crime Stoppers has released just about an hour ago or two that they have, United States Marshals, have captured Devin without the help of the tip line from Two Rivers Crime Stoppers. He is in custody and is currently being held. So wanted to make sure we got those follow-up to you. Before we wrap up this show, I also saw a couple of really neat things. Right now, we've really been, you guys can't see it, but we've been growing really a lot. Every night I have about 2 or 3 people that send me, emails, and I have one person that sends me an email about 4 a.m., and basically, they send us interesting content that maybe would be interesting for you guys. And really appreciate that team kind of growing, and we're doing quite well. That's why we had some sound today. We were able to do some fun stuff. And like I said, that Uber driver, man, wow. I mean, at least, thank God they're, it's meant for radio, so they censor everything. But, I just don't know if I agree with her. Do you really think that dropping the guy and his mistress off in front of his kids is the appropriate thing to do? Why don't you just take a picture and email it to the guy's wife? I mean, you could surely find her information. It's not that hard to find somebody anymore, right? Just my thought. Well, anyway, I got sent this today, and I thought, how interesting, and wanted to share this, guys, with you. Today, our primary phone goes with us. In fact, more and more households, we don't even have a landline, and millennials don't even know what those are. But 25 years ago, this week, the big phone news of the nation was auto call forwarding. Yep, that's right, auto call forwarding in Denver. A phone company was rolling out a service that automatically rerouted incoming calls as soon as you turned on your cell phone. Wow. I just don't know what to say. I read that and I'm going, well, I've never had to experience something that doesn't do that. Well, there you go. So that's what happened. Big phone news, and we have advanced very much so in the realm of technology in 25 years. Another thing that I saw that was kind of neat was a new survey that was released. And it starts off by saying, we buy cars, we buy off-road capable SUVs and trucks because we really think we're going to be doing some off-roading every other weekend. The data shows us that most of us rarely or never need all four-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. Also, the data shows we don't drive on regular roads the way that we think we will. A new survey found that over 2/3 of United States electric car shoppers would want 300 or more miles of range on an EV, which is a bit of a disconnect between how people actually drive. About 95% of United States car trips are 30 miles or less. But when people buy cars, they don't buy cars for what they actually drive. They buy on what they fantasize they will drive. You know, I kind of disagree with that because I know people that really drive ridiculous amounts of distance. And I mean, especially when you get into pro wrestling, all right? So, you know, we have guys that go to Tennessee, you know, they'll wake up at 4 in the morning, get to Tennessee, and I'm not talking Memphis. I'm talking, you know, Tennessee, like 9-10 hours near Chucky, if you guys know where that one is. And, you know, they'll do the show. It's 8 o'clock in the, you know, evening, 9 o'clock when their match is done. They get right in their car. They go back home. There are people that really do drive that way. And some of them actually bought electric vehicles just for that purpose. And so kind of disagreeing with that one, but I still like it nonetheless. And another thing I'm going to leave you guys with was something that I just don't understand, right? Because to me, there's so many opportunities out there for employment that you could really, unless it's, you know, you're making $1 million a year, 500,000, you're making crazy money, right? That you can basically find a job that's tailor-made for you without having to be mad at your current employer, you know? So they're suggesting, research is that there's actually the case for this 3-hour workday. Yeah. No, I said that correct. 3 hour, not 3 day. 3 hour. And here it goes. Researchers found the average worker spend most of the 8-hour day doing many other things besides work, including eating, socializing, surfing on social media. Psychologists have found the brain can't focus on tasks for more than a few hours at a time. Some research has found people can only concentrate for about 20 minutes. Only one study found people struggle to stay on task for more than 10 seconds. I don't know who they did the study on, but all I can say is if you can't handle 3 hours, if you think 3 hours of work is feasible, I really want to see the statistics that say we're still doing as well as we were when we were all working 8 and 9 hour days. Just want to throw that out there. I think, hey, if it works, God love you, and work 3 hours. I just can't see it working, is my point. So I saw that and just thought I'd share that with you before we wrap up this show. And, just kind of a really, really neat thing. And also I saw this. One last neat story before we wrap up the show and we talk about tomorrow is in California. A man became the second person ever, and I mean ever, to kayak from California to Hawaii. I'm out of camera shot, so I can't raise my arms that wide. So Cyril, 46 of Marine, set off from Monterey in June in his modified kayak, which included pedals, a small sleeping cabin, but no motor or sail. His journey ended 91 days later when he arrived in Hilo last week. The adventurer attempted the same feat last year, but ended up being rescued, I remember that, by a Coast Guard helicopter due to weather and equipment issues. He said he spent about 10 hours a day paddling. I went easy, and you need to have the right calories. I don't know how that's easy. He was telling local affiliates, I was eating 4,000 calories a day and making sure that I would rest sufficiently at night. Ed Gillette became the first person to successfully kayak from California to Hawaii in 1987, so it's great to see Cyril doing it in 2022. How cool is that? To me, there's no way I'd be able to do it. I mean, absolutely no way in hell I would be able to do that. I am terrified at night anyway. Like, if I'm by myself and I watch the ID channel, good luck if you're next to me. And it's just not good. So to be at night with all those sharks swimming around you and you never know what's in that water, pretty neat stuff. Hey, guys, really appreciate you hanging out with me today. It's been a fun Thursday in Alton, especially after I told you guys, man, that sinus headache, those migraines are tough. I mean, they really are tough. And, man, on Wednesday, I was kind of just, you can't even concentrate, So really was a bummer, but I'm glad to be back to normal with you guys. And, there's only one last thing to do, and that's wrap this up. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. You deserve it. Lacey McDonald, Luis Noya joins me tomorrow, and so much more. So on that note, y'all have a great day. And just do me a favor, and that's just try your best to stay out of jail.
You won't won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Once I got here to Lewis and Clark, I felt connected to this place.
It is about intellectual curiosity and people who want to work with faculty mentors and delve into these areas they're interested in.
And it gives the chance for students to develop a more full version of themselves.
Lewis and Clark for me is going to be the place that I found myself.